Hello. Oh my god. Due to budget cuts and time management failures, we have returned to our original format of filming these videos early in the morning before I go to work. I got a new job, guys! Which means that, as this was my first week, I really didn't have much time to read because I was doing a lot of fast-paced training and shit. So instead, we're gonna talk about fairies. A couple of weeks ago, a dear friend of mine who I will tag in the description below and link in the channel asked me to do a review of the Winx Club or the Winx Saga on Netflix. If those of you who have not been paying attention to the internet or something don't know, Netflix recently adapted the Winx Club, which was an animated TV series in 2004, originally Italian in origin, but then it transferred over to America and they dubbed it with English, and then eventually just started writing the dialogue and animating it for English instead of Italian. And Netflix adapted it and gave it the Riverdale treatment. We're going to talk about it. But before we get into that, my name is Logan, and this is the Bi Book Boy. I am a chaotic bisexual. I read books. I talk about them. In order to fully do this review, I watched all of season 1 of the Winx Saga on Netflix, the live-action remake, and I watched the season 1 of the original Winx Club cartoon. These things are very different. It's kind of comparing apples and oranges here. Green apples and red apples. Netflix made a lot of changes, and the internet's kind of going crazy about it. We're going to discuss them. To give you backstory, though, I'm going to talk about the original cartoon, how to describe it. The animation style is very like the 90s X-Men cartoons meets like Sailor Moon, and the character designs are all very Sailor Moon-esque. The voice acting, at least on the American side, is very... It kind of reminds me of like a toned-down version of anime, with like lots of sound effects, but also still like relatively realistic. And the action scenes are like impressively like together, especially for a kid's cartoon in 2004. Anyway, though, we follow Bloom. The main plot is Bloom is a teenager who's been obsessed with fairies, and then she gets rescued by one because she stumbles upon Stella, the fairy of the sun and the moon, fighting an orc slash a troll. And then Stella takes her to this school for fairies in the other world, and she meets her friends, and they do go on all kinds of fairy magic stuff. It was really cute. I really loved it. I actually kind of want to watch more. I just can't keep pirating things on my laptop right now. We get characters like Aisha, Fairy of Waves, and Musa, who in this one is the Fairy of Music, and Techna, the Fairy of Technology, and Flora, the Fairy of like plant life and shit, Nature Fairy, that is, and a bunch of others, and it's really, really cute, and I love it. They also have this band of basically like, they remind me of like Magic Space Knights. They're called the Specialists, and they're basically this group of teenage boys that are all serve as the Winx Club's boyfriends, and they're like the muscle, while like the fairies are like doing the magic and shit. They're out there fighting with swords and distracting the bad guys. It's a good time. Yeah, it's very cheesy, very light. I wouldn't say the plot is at all like groundbreaking for the first season. It's very cut and paste, child's magic adventure. Here comes Netflix. Now, Netflix made some changes with their live action adaptation. I'm gonna say spoilers from here on out, but basically they just gave a they Riverdaled it, so they changed it so that Bloom has a very troubled past with her mother, and like didn't realize she was a fairy but couldn't control her powers, and like all, caused a very massive accident and was discovered by the fairies and taken to the school. The color palette is a lot more subdued and realistic. The professors are a lot more active in the the action of the story and such, which I really love because I like watching adults operate in these worlds. I don't know why. The school is facing this looming threat of the burned ones, which are basically zombies, but they don't say zombies. And we don't know why the burned ones are back, but shit's about to get real. While I understand that fans of the original series would be affronted by like the major changes here, this isn't the first time that Netflix has done something like this, or just the CW or other TV shows in general. Like Sabrina got a much darker treatment than Sabrina the Teenage Witch or the original Sabrina comics. Riverdale is the poster child for taking something incredibly light and fun and turning it into the most dark soap opera-y thing you've ever seen. So why not this? This is honestly the next natural progression. They're just going with more and more obscure references, honestly. Now, yes, there is something to be said for the critique that the plot is very, we'll say, convenient. There's not a lot of ground being broken here as far as like changes being made with the plot structure of like a magical story, but that's fine to me because it doesn't have to be well written to be enjoyable. And the original cartoon was just as cheesy, if not more cheesy. The acting here is incredible. Like, it's a little bit campy for me. It's a little bit campy. But there are some scenes when you get to the finale that literally made me cry. And I appreciate that. From here on out, I'm going to give a spoiler warning. So, like, if you care about the Netflix show being spoiled for you, why the fuck are you still here? Like and subscribe. Love you. See you next video. Now we'll do the detailed complaints here. The first obvious one is there are characters that are missing. Techna, the Fairy of Technology, is nowhere to be found. Will she be introduced in season 2? Who the fuck knows? But she is MIA, and it is kind of sad because Techna is a very wonderful part of the team. Also, things that the internet have been pointing out were changes that have been made to Musa's character. One change I'm okay with, one change I'm not okay with. The change I'm okay with is they changed Musa's powers from being a fairy of music, which really lended itself to the original show because the original show was a musical. But they changed it so that she is the fairy. She is an empath, and she's a fairy of like emotions and shit. And this creates some really wonderful scenes. Like she's able to take others' pain away in battle. She's able to calm people. She's able to manipulate the way they feel. It's really cool, and I like that exploration. What I don't like is that Musa in the original TV show was coded and animated to be of Asian descent, and this actress is very much not Asian, and I apologize if I'm assuming this, but she looks white, and this is not the only character that Netflix whitewashed in this TV show, which is in 2020, guys. Really? Well, 2021 now, I guess. Anyway, though, another change that I'm okay with, that people are a little up in arms about, is Musa in the original comics, or in the original show, is like a love interest and eventually dating the specialist Riven. They're like cute because they're like the out there edgy ones. And here, Musa is with a completely new fairy named Sam, who is an earth fairy, and they have a really cute relationship, and I love it. And Riven is the bad boy loner guy who is being hinted at as bisexual right now, which I am okay with. I'm fine with bi rep. I'm okay with that as long as you justify it. Another character that people are mad about is the fairy of the earth, Flora, is all but missing in action here. She is mentioned once in passing in conversation, but she is not on screen, which is really sad because this character was drawn after Beyonce and like famously voiced by Keke Palmer in later seasons, and she's just really cool, and it's really depressing. And Netflix replaced her with something I'm torn on here. Netflix replaced her with Flora's cousin Tara, the fairy of the earth, who is British and white, which is not okay. I will be okay with this if they bring Flora back next season and also keep Tara, because I would love to see their cousinly relationship. And also Tara is like an incredible the actress playing Tara is incredible. The Tara's character is one of the most interesting I've seen come out of these darker reimaginings of the comics. She's very light and unapologetically cheery and happy, but also like able to stand up for herself and being like, don't you dare fuck with me. She also is a plus size actress, and you get really there's some pretty cool representation there and some pretty cool discussions there of how people treat plus size people, and I enjoyed that. It doesn't excuse the obvious whitewashing, but it is a cool thing to explore. And I like that character, so I'm torn because I don't want that character to go away, but I understand why people are unhappy that the original character went away and was replaced by this one. And lastly, the Winx. Major spoiler alert here. Everyone's mad on the internet that none of the actresses have been seen with wings. And in most of the TV show, nobody has wings. I'm here to say that I don't understand why people are mad about this if they haven't finished the TV show, because in the finale, everybody gets fucking wings. Yeah, it's a thing. And in the original, at least season 1 of the original TV show, the cartoon, they don't have wings all the time. In fact, they rarely have wings. Most of the time, the wings are put away and then brought out for the fancy transitions. Also, Netflix took a risk and basically shot for shot did Bloom's transition into like full fairy with the wings and stuff. They did it shot for shot minus the sparkly clothing. And it was very, very, I would say if you took a panel from X-Men Dark Phoenix and mixed that with like a Power Rangers transformation, that's kind of the vibe I got from this. Was it impactful? Yes. Did I laugh out loud watching it? Oh fuck yeah, I did. But it was fun. I don't know. I guess in conclusion, do I think that the Netflix adaptation is per se a piece of cinema that everyone should watch? Fuck no. But I don't think that about any of the other adaptations that have happened recently, such as Riverdale or Sabrina or anything like that. I think that these are really fun things to binge with like popcorn and a glass of wine after work. And it's just kind of fun to see them taking beloved cartoon characters and making them angsty. Do I see obvious problems with what Netflix did to adapt this one? Oh yeah. Whitewashing is never okay. I miss Techna a lot, and Flora. And there are other issues that I didn't talk about here, but I don't know how to talk about those yet because I've only watched season 1 of the original cartoon, so I don't feel like I have the knowledge to discuss those things yet. If any of you are like fans of the original cartoon and actually like know what the fuck is going on here, please correct me if I said anything out of line. Please add to the discussion and bring up things that I didn't. So I would love to hear from you because like I said, I was just made aware of this like 2 weeks ago. And if you watched to the end of the video, thanks for sticking around and helping out. If you want more chaotic bisexual content early in the morning, late at night, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you can get my videos whenever I decide to post them. Also, please like, share, comment, all the YouTube algorithm interaction stuff so that we can get more people into this discussion. Until next time, this has been the Bye Book Boy. I'm saying bye.